What's up everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back to the channel. So, do you guys remember, or should I say, have you ever heard of the cancelled Legend of Spyro 3D movie? Here's the thing, back in 2007, a film adaptation of the series was proposed apparently. It would be based off the overall plot of Legend of Spyro, which was considered as the relaunch of the series. The story would have been as follows. A dragon egg is found. The dragonflies wonder what kind of creature it is. They later realize it's a dragon from an unknown, distant location. They don't tell Spyro until a certain point. When he discovers his powers, that's when they tell him. This whole time, Spyro thought he was this big purple-looking dragonfly. So he grows up with Sparx, who's considered like his brother, and they go on an adventure and they stop the Dark Master Malefor. While technically speaking, Malefor had a full appearance in Dawn of Dragon, and the movie would have most likely featured him. In a different sort of way. It's not a video game, it's a movie, right? You can actually find a synopsis of the film, a plot summary, and according to the summary, most of the film would have involved Cinder. Spyro frees her from Malefor, she was his servant this whole time, right? And later on, they become great allies and she becomes Spyro's love interest. The movie was written by Daniel and Steven Altier. I think that's how we pronounce their names. A script? It exists. It's somewhere out there. The script was ready. Now these guys, I don't know if they've worked on films which were critically acclaimed. They worked on Scooby-Doo live action films, 2009 and 2010. They worked on this Dr. Dolittle film, 2009. None of those were critically acclaimed. So anyways, the time comes where rights are given to make the film. The studio who was going to work on it was Animation Picture Company. It was planned to be advertised and distributed by Velvet Octopus, which you can't find much information on these days for some reason, and apparently Universal Studios was also going to get involved in the distribution and advertising process. Now back then, people discovered this poster from producer of Aragon, Spyro. Looking at the producer of Aragon, what would this movie have been like? Aragon was produced by John Andrew Davis. He's known for hundreds of feature films. He's still in business. In 2015, he made this movie called Joy, an action comedy film featuring Jennifer Lawrence. Now as for Aragon, critics, they were harsh, and it was considered one of the worst movies in 2006, but as for the box office, according to Fox, who was the distributor, they actually found it okay. During the first weekend in the US, it was sitting at 23 million, and now it sits at 250 million. So what exactly happened to the Spyro film? The movie was planned for 2009 for Canada and US only. Okay, let's stop right there. To me, it sounded like they were going to treat the movie like Ratchet & Clank, distribution-wise. Ratchet & Clank only showed up in a couple of locations in Canada and US. Some people were disappointed that the movie did not show up in theaters in their location, and advertising was poor. Seeing as how Spyro was only planned for Canada and US, if this is 100% true, I'm not too sure. I'm just going with what I found online. I mean, this is an old subject. We're talking about 2009, 8 years ago, right? To me, it sounded like a box office flop waiting to happen. So with that out of the way, the movie apparently had gotten postponed. They thought the movie would get released on April 10th, 2010 for some reason. The movie did not even have trailers, so I don't understand. Why did people think it would get released in theaters by then? Anyways, it turns out that theater part, it wasn't true at all. Since Activision owned the rights of Spyro, well they still do, they wanted to go in a different direction. It was later revealed in 2011 that Spyro would get featured in a new series called Skylanders. This was explained by writer Daniel Altier. You can actually find a quote from 2010. It's old, but I'm still gonna go over it. So sorry for the letdown, but we're as disappointed as you are. I'm afraid we're just the writers. No more than hired hands. We didn't even know the project was cancelled until months after they pulled the plug. Did you consider writing the gaming company? They're the ones who made the decision to go in a different direction, and if we knew what the direction was, we'd share it with you. Again, sorry for the disappointment. Wish we had more encouraging news for you. Now, the writer had no idea about the direction, but we as fans, we definitely know what Activision decided to do with Spyro. It's obvious. Skylanders. Now, looking back at this project in 2017, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's this video game curse going on. All the movies based off games, they end up being a flop, especially critically wise. Am I sad that the movie didn't happen back in 2010, let's say? I mean, we had Prince of Persia, Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed, Ratchet & Clank. There was supposed to be a Sly Cooper movie, which is apparently on hold right now. They want to focus on a TV show instead, okay. But looking at how these video game movies failed, is it completely false to say that Spyro would have had the same fate? Believe me guys, the whole dark theme, the whole lore of the Legend of Spyro, I would love to see it on the big screen. But seeing as how video game movies turn out these days, yes, it's Spyro, it was known on the PS1, but would it have been a financial success? Guys, be honest in the comment section. We're in 2017. Okay, maybe in 2009 you would have been like, oh wow, a Spyro movie, I'm looking forward to it. High hopes and everything, right? But now, if you look back at it, what do you think? Do you think it was for the best to scrap the movie? Tell me this, would you rather have a film which gets completely trashed on Rotten Tomatoes and fails at the box office, or would you rather not have a film at all and hope that the game series goes strong? Let's think of old Activision. Imagine the Spyro movie had happened. Imagine it had flopped completely. Do you think Activision would have said yes to another Spyro series? Probably not. Oh look, Spyro's on the big screen. Oh, it failed at the box office. Okay, so people don't care about this character. Alright, let's move on. They tried Skylanders and it turned out to be an actual success. I mean, we got a bunch of Skylanders games starting from 2011. One is not going to happen in 2017, but we still do have Skylanders Academy running on Netflix. Season 3 has been confirmed. Do you think Activision would have said yes to all this if the movie had flopped, if it had happened? Knowing Activision? Would they have funded a studio to work on a Spyro game, knowing that the film flopped? Tell me what you think about that. I'm really curious. Actually, talking about Skylanders Academy, Season 3, apparently it got leaked that Dark Spyro and Malefor will be featured. Sorry to spoil it, but I heard it got leaked somewhere, probably during a recording, I think. Yeah, I think that was it. Anyways, all I'm gonna say is Activision got lucky. They made Skylanders, a bunch of people bought Skylanders for Spyro alone. And guess what? They took the risk with Crash Bandicoot. Who would have thought? Activision saying yes to a Crash Bandicoot remake. And look, within the first week, it sold over 1 million copies. With Skylanders Academy doing so well, Crash selling so much, could a movie still happen? Will it get considered? Honestly, I'm gonna say it again, seeing as how video game movies have a very bad reputation, I'm gonna say no. Sure, the game series is going super strong. No, they haven't made a Spyro remake yet, but it is highly speculated. Activision said that we should be confident that more remakes / remasters will happen. So with that in mind, I'm sure that Spyro will be next. But that doesn't mean that they might consider the movie, despite a script already existing. And I'm actually curious, are they ever going to reveal that script? I want to see it. And honestly, yes, video game series is successful, but when it comes to the movie, it's all about advertising. That's it. Once people know about the film, there's going to be a lot of mouth to ear and a bunch of tickets will get sold. So what I'm going to say to end off this video is, let them first focus on a remake of Spyro, which I believe could happen. It has a high chance of happening. But hey, you never know. Imagine the Spyro remake getting released. Imagine that, selling as much copies as the Insane Trilogy within the first week. Maybe Activision might consider an actual movie. I mean, look, isn't Spyro featured in Skylanders Academy, an animated show exclusive to Netflix? If Activision considered an animated show, seeing as how Season 3 got confirmed, would Activision go to such lengths and say yes to an actual film? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And as usual, if you have other questions, leave everything in the comment section below as well. So yep, as always, I've been VTNVIVI and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Until next time.